time to strap in and get ready. The leaders in NRL SuperCoach are incoming. Bringing you the ultimate insight to help you win your leagues and climb up the rankings. You're now listening to the Insight NRL Show with your hosts, Brain, Mattrix, and Whisperer.
G'day, hello, welcome to the Insight NRL Show. You're watching round 24's preview show for NRL SuperCoach. It's week 2 of finals. Hopefully you got through week 1 unscathed. There is plenty to play for some of us. Maybe not so for others. Mattrix, how are you, mate? How's your week been?
Scathed. No, good. It's Madden 26 is great. Can I tell you what? I've got 82 overall, Justin Herbert, absolutely cooking, hitting my 82 overall, DJ Moore on the slants, and then SuperCoach happens. I'm probably going to the footy this weekend. I think I'm going to the Broncos game, so that'll revive it. I love the Battle of Brisbane minus Herbie Farnworth, Adam Reynolds, Ezra Mam, and I don't know. Any forward the Dolphins have. Yeah.
You forgot
the Battle of
Selwyn
Brisbane. So without Selwyn Cobbo. He'll be playing in that for the next 7 years.
Yeah. Josh, how are you, mate? You've been pretty busy this week in the land of, away from NRL, in the land of the round ball.
This is bullshit. I was so keen for a nice 6 months doing absolutely nothing, and I got roped into doing this, despite it being my idea. Been flat out. Season starts Saturday morning, so... we'll have to get a subscription for Redacted Sport and pay some money to watch some EPL. But no, really keen, enjoying it. So season's nearly here. The WhatsApp chat popped off today, so been busy doing that. Makes cardio a lot easier. Make it answer some questions. But no, it's good. Appeared on Ball Logic as well. It's been a big week for me.
Oh, fuck yeah,
good
made it, man.
Yeah, you made it to Ball Logic. I'll tell you what, it's the best 73 views he's ever had. I'll give you the red hot tip. No, talking about the Charlotte Hornets, your team, so that was fun to have you on and have a chat about the fact that Charlotte still probably aren't going to be very good unless all their stars stay on the floor. So that's going to be an interesting season for you, mate. But
I follow a bunch of massacres sport teams.
Yeah, they've been called the West Tigers of the NBA, I was just about to say.
Oh, man, you wouldn't want to know what all of my teams just seem terrible. So I won't go through them all. But guys, if you're watching, please hit subscribe and like. Helps the show get out to more people. Of course, it is the end of the season. So, if you want to support the pod, we would really appreciate it. Hit that follow button if you're listening on audio and leave us a 5-star review if you like the content. Now, a big shout out to Ryan Chick 3012. He was the correct guesser of Teddy as the top scorer last week. So congratulations, mate. Get yourself a Patreon subscription for the rest of this season and into the SC Finals. We'll be doing content as well. So you get that for free, my man. So hit us up on social media wherever you follow us and we'll get that sorted for you. And, of course, if you want to get yourself a Patreon subscription for the next, 7 weeks, 8 weeks into finals, all you need to do is guess the highest scorer for the weekend. So get those guesses in to the comment section, not the live chat. And hopefully we can give away some more stuff for the rest of the season. Guys, on today's show, we've got the squeeze of the week as always, highest scorer in the Unlimited League. We're going to be having a chat. We're going to go into some quick hits on TLT, just in case you missed it throughout the week. We'll give you the main ins and outs. We'll also be talking about what to do at fullback. There's a few fullbacks putting their hand up this week and a couple maybe that are starting to enter fraud status. So we'll have a chat about them, whether you sell, whether you anti-pod, whether you buy a pod. We'll also be talking about our top purchases in each position, trade trends, and captain's corner as always. Mattrix, who took out the standard squeeze of the week?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked. The top scorer was Brad, coach of Tommy Turbo, with 1573, and he's 167th overall. He captained Teddy. Teddy did all right last week, so I keep hearing. Brian To'o, Nathan Cleary, Mark, and Cam Munster. All these guys went 90 plus, so just a ripper score from him. Hop into our DMs on socials to claim your prize. And Justo, coach of Just To'o Good, is still leading our lead, but he did drop back a few spots last week, back to 12th overall as he chases the ultimate gong.
Not bad from Justin. They're still leading. We saw a bit of a dip from everybody last week. A few of the top hitters in the league for our insight copped a bit of a hit last week in the rankings. So hopefully we can have a good little bounce back this week. It's starting to get to that end of the season, isn't it? Guys, quick hits, TLT. If you missed it and you haven't looked at teams or haven't paid too much attention yet, we'll give you the main things you need to be aware of. There is no Isaiah Yeo, no Ryan Pappenhausen this week. Nick Meaney goes to fullback. Christian Tuipulotu, he's in the reserves for the Dragons. Shout out to my draft team. Ramian and Nikora, they are done for the regular season, so that's two pieces on the right side for the Sharks missing for the next 4 rounds. Tino, Mo Fotuaika, Philip Sami, they're back for the Titans. Keanu Keeney's also in reserve, so keep an eye out on that. AJ Brimson and Mattrix. Reynolds, Mam and Cobbo, they're all out with hammies. Karapani comes in on the left wing. Walsh, likely to kick goals this week. Cody Walker, he's in the reserves for Souths as well, and I don't have to spell it out to let you know who that benefits. Lei Hopewadi, he's on the left wing. Garrick back to right centre, and Turbo at fullback, and Gagai. He has been moved back to centre after everyone bought him last week. Connor Vitano gets the fullback gig for the rest of the year. Also an 80% goal kicker, Connor Vitano, in Cup. So there's every chance I think he will take that from Gagai as well. What a stiff series of events, Josh, for Gagai purchases last week. You're sitting there with a nice little grin on your face after you told everybody that he's fadeable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Should have seen this coming. It's your own fault. It's obviously it sucks. To have the worst case scenario, have him move to center and maybe lose goal kicking as well off the back of a 40 odd. So yeah, it's not great, especially when trades are so minimal. So yeah, pretty brutal stuff for owners that bought last week. If you've owned for a couple of weeks and fine, like you've got a couple of hundred, so it's great. But if you bought last week, yeah, it's really got a sting. Yeah,
rough. There's a lot more going on, especially in the fullback position. So let's get into the hot topics for this week. Now, there's a few question marks popping up in fullback. Is it time to anti-pod? This is the hot topic for this week. So we're going to have a discussion. What are we doing with Scott Drinkwater? He's had a couple of ordinary scores back-to-back, a 40 and a 30. I mean, he's lost the goal kicking now, what seems like to Zach Labert. You don't just randomly take it off him for one game unless either he's holding a niggle or they'd prefer to go in that direction and free him up a little bit. Coming off a 43 and a 34, Josh, and you're not a Scott Drinkwater owner, but if you were, what are your thoughts here? How are you playing it? Because they've got a couple of nice matchups the next 2 weeks, but temptation surely has to be rearing its head.
I think it's just the warm body fallacy. Like, I feel like if you've got a warm body, especially at fullback, it's not what I'd be. If you've got like 5 or 6 trades, then probably like maybe go to a Turbo. I think he's probably the best fullback to have for the run home. But I probably couldn't. Like, if you've got a normal amount of trades, most of us have less than 3. I just probably think the upside is still too good to pass up.
What about yourself, Matty? What are you thinking about Drinky at the moment? He's owned by 83.5% of teams in the top 10%, so there is a real opportunity to anti-pod, but the Knights have conceded some points the last month. Coming into the Tigers then the week after that, it's risky business.
Yeah, and that's probably the thing, like, what's worse than the shitty North Queensland Cowboys? And the answer is the Newcastle Knights and the West Tigers. Scott Drinkwater should still perform, even without the goal kicking, because let's face it, Cowboys don't score points anyway. But they should this week and the upcoming week. Like, that whole thing with Newcastle being pretty good at defending fullbacks kind of died along with all of their players' season. So I do think that Scott Drinkwater can perform well. Probably the only thing that I'm throwing up with Scott Drinkwater is I don't think coming off, like you said, 30 and 40 the last couple of weeks, he's not performing well enough for me to consider captaining him, despite being against the Knights. So, yeah, that's probably all that moves for me. And I have a couple trades up my sleeve as well. I'm sitting here with 3 and, could do a luxury trade at fullback. That's kind of what I envisioned. And, it won't be to move Drinky out.
I'm in the same camp. I think that Drinkwater is coming up against the Knights, who have conceded, 44, 42, 20 and 32 over the last 4 weeks. 4 rounds, 4 games. So for me, I'm looking at it going, well, I mean, if they're going to concede that many points, Cowboys, you said Cowboys don't score points anyway. I tend to disagree. Like, Cowboys score points. They just fucking concede them just as much. Like, I feel like there could be some points scored in this game regardless of which way it goes. But I just think that, you know, there are points up for grabs this week against the Knights, who have definitely faded off defensively over the last month to 6 weeks. So, but before we continue, this is way more important. Corey, how much beer could Mattrix chug if Mattrix could chug beer? Is that a little woodchuck chuck joke?
Yeah, it is. And if you're wondering about where Dylan Lucas's value lies, this is where my value lies.
This is why we bring him on every week. So it's not just for the deep analytics that you would have heard on Sunday night about the stats with Josh Rogers and Reece Walsh, which is great content. We bring you here because you skull beers on the pod every week. It's a good time.
Cool. Yeah, it is. It's unreal.
You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
I remember one of those nearly made you spew once, so that we'll see how the rest of tonight goes.
I'm burping a little bit. That spaghetti bowl is just sitting there.
And we'll give him a bit of a break, Josh, to let that digest. If you're holding Drinky, obviously that's fine. I think if you're thinking about moving him on or you want to make a pod play, what about Dylan Edwards? They're playing against the Storm this week. If you're an Edwards owner and you've got, let's say, 4 trades up your sleeve, are you tempted there?
Maybe. I mean, what happened the last time that they were missing, like, I think the Roosters rolled Melbourne, didn't they? When they were missing Pappy and Hughes, which was like 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, or it was a very, very shit show game. But I just think Penrith is so good at hitting their stride. Like, Edwards played awful last week and still scored 70. Like, he's a fullback that doesn't need to do much. If he gets 1 try assist, it's a 70-point game with the work rate that he's got. So, look, I don't think the upside's there, but I think there's like, I would rather trade Reece Walsh with the goal kicking over Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, I reckon Panthers are going to roll the Storm this week. I just have a feeling that things are going to go that way. I think Nathan Cleary's in for a pretty big game. I think Dylan Edwards off the back of that. He's the one that benefits with the try assists as the sweeper a lot of the time as well. So for me, I think if I had Edwards, I'd hold. If I had Drinky, I'd hold. And then obviously Reece Walsh is a guy that people are starting to talk about buying this week potentially. How are you feeling about him? Obviously, you know, they don't have that spine, Matty, in Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds anymore, but they've got Ben Hunt, who's probably the best replacement player in the halves you could ask for. And Billy Walters, who's done a commendable job every time he's stepped into the halves. So Reece Walsh with the goal kicking, would you buy him this week if you didn't have him?
Yeah, look, I think I'd consider it, considering how the Dolphins went last week. I'm trying not to poo-poo every other Queensland team at the moment. But yeah, look, with how bad the Dolphins went last week, and the Broncos didn't do fantastic either, but I just don't think the Roosters are as quality of a side as Melbourne. But it was only a couple of years ago when Ben Hunt was one of the guys getting the most amount of try assists around. So Ben Hunt's creative enough. Billy's good. He'll do a good job and probably has the best boot on the team. So he will, I suppose, structure the Broncos well. But I do think a lot of that creativity in the Broncos team will rely on Reece Walsh. And he could be in for a big one. Of course, we know Reece Walsh's struggles. He could just be in for 18, try really hard, pass 3 balls into row 3, and that be the long and short of it. But I do think the creativity will come from Walsh. Ben Hunt will do a serviceable job, and Billy knows his role. So, yeah, look, I think if Broncos are to win this one and win this one big, Reece Walsh is going to have an absolute ripper. Like, we're not talking about bringing in, 5'8" Billy at hooker. I'm definitely not going to be talking about that when it comes to the best hooker to come in. The creativity is going to be Walsh's. So,
yeah, I think it's all or nothing for Walsh. I think it's going to be 130 or it's going to be 13. And, the hard part, I think, for Walsh is that in situations like this where he is relied upon to do everything is not a good thing for Reece Walsh. I don't know. I know, obviously in most situations you'd think that's going to be a great thing because he's going to be doing more, he's going to score more points, but he's probably also going to overdo it. And if anyone can overdo it, it's Reece Walsh. Turn them into turnovers and errors and an absolute shit show. Josh, what are your thoughts on the Reece Walsh purchase this week?
Look, I can understand it, but look, I'm happy owning, but I wouldn't go out of my way to buy. I think it's just a case of like, give it a week if you can. Like, just if it's possible, wait, because then if he looks okay in a side that's missing, all the players, like this is the problem with Walsh. Like we saw at the start of the year, with Hunt, he just wasn't good. Like, it was just not the Reece Walsh that we know. We were desperate for Mam to come back. We know that the data suggests he performs better with Mam in the side. That is still very much true. The average is 85 or so with Mam in the team. I am very much a numbers guy, and I can't buy him knowing how poor he is without Mam. But as an owner, I'm obviously happy to have a goal-kicking fullback in an attacking team. So I think it's a case of if you own him, great. If you don't own him, I would just be waiting. If he doesn't look great, just be fading. I'd rather Turbo. Much rather Turbo.
Before we talk about Turbo, we can't ignore Mr. Ryan Hammond's super chat, which is normally directed at Mattrix to have a drink. He timed it really well, and you know what? Because I like your Mattrix, I gave you a little bit of a break before I brought this up on screen, because going back to back like that can't be good for you with spaghetti bolognese.
Okay. I ain't doing that one this round. You got to wait a bit longer, Hamo. I'll give you your $8 back myself if I have to get out of that one.
Also, Josh, how many pointers is Ricky Lambert scoring this week?
It's actually Lambert. Mate, what is
like
name?
Adam Lambert?
Yes, like Adam Lambert. He's a youth coach for Wigan now, I'm pretty sure, Hamo. So probably not many, but what a name. Him and Big Delap. Get Delap on the long throws. Hamo, what do you reckon?
Well, I'm sure he's going to be around. Like it. Nikhil in the chat, Turbo seems like the easy pick. Same ceiling, better floor in a better team. And haven't we said this before about Tom Trbojevic?
I agree. Better team. I agree.
I mean, questionable. Questionable shout there. And then Mitchell in the chat saying, how would you rank Turbo, Trell and Walsh? And I guess, look, Turbo, Teddy, Trell, Walsh are probably the 4 guys, and Edwards, 5 guys putting their hand up. Matty, how would you rank? Let's throw them all in there. Teddy, Turbo, Trell, Walsh, Edwards. How would you rank them 1 to 5?
So I'm going this week because it's really hard because Teddy is your captain, round 27. But I do think it is Turbo, Walsh, Trell, Teddy this week. I'm not poo-pooing Teddy. He's just playing the Bulldogs this week. So they've been fantastic defensively. And, if there's ever a week that I'm excited to not own Teddy, it's this one.
Yeah, I still think he can score quite well, to be fair. In saying that, the Bulldogs are good defensively, but I don't think the Bulldogs are this absolute top-tier powerhouse defensive unit, especially we've seen over the last month. The Tigers put 28 on them in the wet. And yes, it was wet, and yes, it's a different scenario, but I don't know. They're good, but I still think a guy like Tedesco can score 80 against the Dogs, and no one would be questioning it at all. Josh, where's your head at in terms of ranking those guys? Turbo, Trell, Walsh, Edwards, Teddy.
Turbo 1. Trell 2, Teddy 3, Edwards 4. I just don't like Teddy's draw. I just think it's not a great draw. And obviously Trell at centre is not great, but Trell with I don't really care. Like, Trell's number doesn't worry me. He never goes on the right-hand side of the field anyway. And now that Cody's back, I think it's fine. He's a fullback wearing number 4, effectively.
Yeah, I mean, a bit like what Lehigh and Turbo were doing at Manly the last month, where Turbo would sweep one side.
It's Raz and Crichton, isn't it? Like he'll defend it at 4 and attack at 1.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. If I had to rank them, if I had to, let's just say, make 3 purchases this week for 3 fullbacks, it's probably Turbo 1. I'm not buying Edwards with Penrith's draw. That's tough. I'm still gonna. I don't know. I can't split Trell and Walsh, to be honest. So either or. Maybe let's just go Turbo, Trell, Walsh. I think I'd still get Edwards over Teddy. Teddy last on this list just feels wrong, but the Roosters draw's putrid. So Mattrix cheering because he doesn't have him. He's like, see, I told you guys, I'm a visionary.
Yeah, I can't wait to beat you all this year.
In 2026 in head-to-head, maybe. We'll see.
Because I'll have Turbo and you'll have Teddy and he'll score 800 the last 3 weeks.
There's every chance I won't be buying Teddy at 900 odd K next year anyway. So I'll take Latrell at centre wing. And then, I'm sure I'll go back to the well with Teddy, with Turbo, sorry, I should say. Let's move on to the next, I guess, hot topic. You know, it's pretty hard for us to cover too many specifics, but we'll talk you through our top purchase in each position. We'll have a bit of a chat around. You know, there are some situations at the moment where people are looking for a hooker replacement. Potentially you're looking for one this week. Maybe you're looking for one for Blake Brayley next week on the bye. Maybe you're looking for 2RF this week. You've held Dylan Lucas. You might have held Keon. You know, maybe you need to get some players on the park in good positions, in good matchups this week. Let's start at hooker. We'll start at the top, Josh. Hooker, as much as we would have thought that there were a couple of options, there's only really one standout option, and he is a resting risk on the run home, is Harry Grant. But he looks to be running the ball a little bit more. He definitely looks to be a lot more involved now that Jerome Hughes is out, Ryan Pappenhausen's out. Last time Pappy and Hughes both missed, he scored, 120, put the team on his back, but Munster was out as well. So how do you feel about Harry Grant as a purchase now at hooker, or do you think there's another option?
I've got another option. And if you boys like Harry Grant, I'm happy to double or nothing my Bolter bet in terms of total points scored from the season run home. So if you guys like Harry Grant, let me know before I reveal mine.
No, I have someone else.
Oh, boo.
I'll just take on Harry Grant then to make it interesting. Go on.
Okay, Sam Verrills, total points for the run home.
Between now, 4 weeks. Cool.
Yeah. So
right.
Verrills with a game in hand, basically. I'm really keen on Verrills. He's been playing big minutes, has some attacking upside, does love a run close to the line. Titans don't really have anything else, so why not throw to Verrills? I think he's like 500k as well. So, look, if you've got Brayley, then you've got Grant as cover. Absolutely fine. If you've got neither, I would, rather just take a guy in Verrills that will play 70 to 80 minutes and not have a bye and save you some cash for all the other trades that you've definitely got.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like, you know, if you need to get 18 on the park, that's kind of the only reason why you're playing or buying a hooker this week. Matty, who's yours, mate? And it's I'm sure it's not Sam Healy.
It's not Sam Healy being named on the bench, and it's not Wade Egan with Sam Healy being named on the bench. It's Damien Cook. New Zealand, Souths, Manly, into Penrith. Played 80 minutes last week. Had some big minutes the last couple weeks. Seemed to be finding a little bit of attack. I had 24 in create last week. Look, he is just somebody that if you were throwing a dart at a dartboard, could have that upside. Damien Cook. With the Dragons, as you boys said in the chat, finishing the season great. Not trying to save their season like the West Tigers, which are on the same amount of points.
I couldn't dislike that pick more, so I'm kind of glad I've gone Harry Grant against Damien Cook. The draw's nice, but I mean, the minutes have been up. For two games, 55 and a 63 he got in 69 and 80 minutes. Then he goes 40, 40, 30, 40 over the last month before that. And he was playing 60 minutes in all 4 of those games.
That's why it's a pod.
Yeah, because it sucks. He's going to outscore Harry Grant.
Boring.
Actually, JMK, if you want to take on the Gold Coast Titans in head-to-head grand final in round 26, he could be the guy. That's kind of the spicy one. Let's move on to front row forward and very quickly move past front row forward. If you don't have Terrell May or Payne Haas, I'm assuming you probably aren't playing anymore. You're probably not playing anymore, to be fair. So I'm not making a trade at front row forward. Just play those two, have nothing on the bench, and just run from there. But 2RF, it's opened up a fair bit. No one that is I'm really loving as a pick, but I think the standout, and I think, Josh, we spoke about it on the Q&A the other night, is Bo Firma. 580k, 28% owned. He plays the Sharks this week, who are missing 2 pretty critical pieces on that edge that Firma's running at off Foran's hip. Philip Sami's back. I assume Philip Sami's going to be on the left side as well. So they've got a pretty potent attack on the left edge, coming up against a team that doesn't have Nikora, their regular right edge. I think it's going to be, Billy Burns on that right edge, and Maween Harodi is going to be replacing Jesse Ramian. So for me, I think missing two pieces there. Yeah, you held him forever as well. But no, I like the play as a play this week, and I think he's, Titans draw is pretty nice for the next month. So he's my pick.
Yeah. He's mine as well. But there's a couple others. I like two others. So Talis Duncan, 618k, has a 5-round average of 67 on that potent left-hand side as well, which is really, really nice. And obviously plays for the rest of the run home. Does miss head-to-head grand final. But my pick probably, it's very boring, but it's just Aaron Clark, isn't it? It's just 5-round average of 64, so very vanilla, but unfortunately that's the point of the season that we're at. But bit of vibes on Talis Duncan without the headgear as well.
Fuck, imagine if someone just goes and buys all these, Damien Cook, Aaron Clark, and they just pick the most boring option that we throw out every single position. I'll be depressed.
Do you want to know where you won't be picking Damien Cook in SuperCoach finals?
It's true. That's going to be fun, actually. I'm looking forward to just picking a random team, being able to start from scratch again. That'll be good. And for anybody who's out of head-to-head, like, you've only got 4 weeks to wait and you can get back into it. So you got a 2RF for us, Matty?
Oh, look, just Tino sort of stands out. Vibes, could score some points. A lot of people have traded off him where he kind of turns into a pod. And he's just a guy that has averaged nearly 70 all year. So, yeah.
Halfback. It's Sam Walker, really, isn't it? Like 705k. He's made a lot of cash. He's only 2.5% owned, but putting up points left, right, and centre. Maybe there's another option, and I think I might have him at 5'8", but he's also halfback dual. Josh, who are you thinking?
I just think, like, if we're poo-pooing like Teddy's draw,
what's Sam Walker's draw like?
Is it the same as Teddy's, or is it different?
I think it might be the same as Teddy's. Just got a feeling.
If we're glazing Damien Cook's draw, let's talk about liking King Togia for 10 minutes.
I'd probably. I know he put up a 23 on the weekend, and he's got 170 break even. But I love buying an overpriced premium with a massive break even, as we do know. Tom Dearden, purely head to head, grand final in round 27. That plays Newcastle at Q Bank. And plays us at the fortress that is Leichhardt, but has a career average of 72 against us, and then plays the Broncos up at QCBS.
As somebody that is straight from the horse's mouth, Tom Dearden was hungover at the weekend. It was his nan's funeral before. Ran into him at the pub. The big dog was probably sucking him in for this game. And, it's a great draw. So Tom Dearden was never going to score very well. Sorry, Nan.
Yeah. I have him at 5'8" as my 5'8" pick, so I guess that's fine. I'll find it.
You always pick the guy with the first duel.
Is that that buy round draft that we did? I've been cucked again.
No. Yeah, if someone's like a front row forward 2RF duel, you always just pick him at front row forward because then you can snipe your friends. If they're waiting for the 2RF to come around, you just get him in. But no, I think he's fine. 5'8" or halfback.
Yeah. Sam Walker put up 80 against the Storm, like, in what you'd consider to be a good matchup. His fucking hands are all over the ball. Like, him and Teddy are still fine. I didn't have a problem with having Teddy either. I didn't say he was bad. He was just fifth. Anybody for you, mate?
I think the real answer is still clearing Nico. A lot of serious super coaches have them. I don't see a world where it's worth trading any of these. I saw one of the guys in the chat said, like, going Nico to Sam Walker, like, no, brother.
Yeah, that was Lachlan in the chat. Some people on other pods are saying you can trade Hines to Walker next week.
No, you can't.
On the bye. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Honestly, you've got a good enough team that you're probably sitting somebody.
If you don't have Cleary, sure. Yeah. If you don't have Cleary, like, why are you playing the game?
Yeah, like, you probably already have, honestly, a team where you're sitting people that you want to play every week. Start sits are becoming very hard for those that have played every week and haven't missed any trades. So just sit him next week. It's only if you've got, like, 4 Sharks or something that it's a real issue. I'm not doing that.
I've got 3 Sharks, and I haven't even thought once about trading him. Their draw still for the last 2 games is good enough for me to not worry about having to move him on. 5'8", I found a 5'8". It's my man Adam Dwayhe. 592K. If the Tigers didn't suck, the draw would be okay, but they suck. So like, there's not much you can put in that. But in saying that, if the Tigers do put up any sort of heartbeat, it'll be Adam Dewey's heartbeat. They play against Manly, who I feel like we've been a bogey team for Manly over the last few years. We play them at Allianz as well, so we're definitely not at 4 Points Park. We play Leichhardt next week against the Cowboys, who, as Mattrix said, are terrible. Raiders 26 is fucked. You're probably not playing him in a head-to-head grand final. But then 27, we've got Gold Coast at Seabus. Like, Adam Dewey could put up some pretty nice scores on the run home here. Like, they're pretty decent matchups, except obviously you've got to believe that the Tigers can actually score points, which I understand why people would be a little concerned about that. So, but he's my pick. I don't mind him. Obviously, centre wing or 5'8", and I've taken your advice, Josh, and I've grabbed him at 5'8", so no one can get him at centre.
Your boy.
Should we move on to centre wing?
Yeah, I don't have
There's a
anything
few.
to talk about at 5'8".
I assume that we're all unanimous across the board for this one, though.
Matty, kick us off, mate. Centre wing, because you didn't have a 5'8". What are you thinking? There's a few.
Yeah, there is a few. Honestly, the 5'8" nearly is Ethan Strange next week. He still plays West Tigers and the Dolphins this year, so they're going to try and lock down a minor premiership, which is something you can do.
It's a thing.
I don't even have a centre wing. You guys lead with centre wing. I didn't do any prep for this.
It's the left edge for the Rabbitohs, isn't it? Specifically the left wing for the Rabbitohs and Alex Johnston. Could break the record this week. Cody Walker being back in the team is huge for him. Trell being outside him is even better. Imagine an edge of Cody Walker, Tallis Duncan, Latrell Mitchell, Alex Johnston. Who are they, and who's on that right edge that they're coming up against? Someone remind me. Para.
Sorry.
Who's on the right edge for Para?
Oh, the Lomax side.
Oh, yeah, Lomax loves jamming in on a centre, doesn't he? God, I can imagine that.
Lomax would love to try and fold Troll as well. Guarantee it.
Yep,
Oh.
he'll be coming out early too. Little tap on. It's going to be similar to what we saw last week, I reckon, from AJ. But yeah, I love AJ as a buy this week. I think you just need to prepare for round 26's head-to-head grand final. You're not going to have him. So as long as you've only got him, which for the most part, you shouldn't really own any other Souths players anyway, unless you're an absolute SuperCoach genius and have Tallis Duncan for the last 2 months. You're not buying anyone else there. So unless
about-
you're Trell.
What about goal kicking Bailey Bentley Harvey? Genuinely.
Jesus.
Hey, I picked him up in draft last week. I thought I was a wizard.
yeah, I guess that's one way to put it. I genuinely have not looked at him at all.
I couldn't even tell you how much he is, honestly. I just thought of him.
Holy shit.
237 probably.
Bailey
Mine's
Bentley
also-
Harpe. That's got to be the first mention he's ever had on a SuperCoach.
318k. Oh, he scored 74 last week.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I streamed him in draft. I thought I was a wizard.
Gold.
Scored a try. He's goal kicking. Mine's also AJ, but of the Brimson variety, only because Alex Johnston was taken. So I'm also in team Alex Johnston, but Brumo also scored 50 doing nothing last week. So pretty much a poo-slinger game.
Ronaldo Mulatalo. Anybody?
Are we trying to avoid buys?
Oh yeah, potentially. But I mean, like the matchup's nice this week if you're in a must-win and you've only got Nico. Hopefully you've only got Nico as a Sharks player anyway. Maybe you got Brayley, but
Brett Nicker.
oh fuck, if you have Brett Nicker, my condolences. That sucks.
Oh,
There's a stat here. Hang on, stats for shout out to Lauren in the WhatsApp. Where is it? Ronaldo Mulatalo, Sharks winger, has scored 40 tries in 40 games at Shark Park. So
Yeah, right.
not a bad matchup either.
Can't wait
I'd
for him
say.
to score 41 in 41 games and still score a 47. So,
Garrett, it's pretty much locked in now that stat's come up.
would you like to know what's happening? It's my pick in NFL draft to me to derail a podcast, and also my mock. I did absolutely cook. These spuds on the screen just don't get NBA. I get it, mate. I get it. That was a great team I drafted in that mock, man. Like
I'm waiting for drafts. I haven't done one. I need to do one. I'm desperate.
Yeah, we're doing one on Sunday, I think, for NBA. Or are you talking NFL?
No, NFL, NBA. No, I'm the Inside Dynasty champion. I don't need to be talking about you peasants.
Listen to him. He drafted the oldest team in the history of Dynasty leagues.
Sorry.
Takes the chip in year one.
Thanks. That's
Takes the chip in year one and then will disappear. Guaranteed. Just collect
I
draft
can't
picks.
wait for his team to retire.
I'll make some more astute trades, like trading injured Jared McCain for top 20 player Jalen Brown and a second round pick.
Shout out Horse. The worst trade in the history of fantasy basketball. I told him this too, and he still defended himself. So good on him. He stuck to his stuck to his guns. Let's talk fullback. It's Tom Trbojevic, 631k, 18% owned. I'm interested to see how many people jump on this week on Turbo. I'm not going to. I'm going to hold Drinky. But yeah, if I was going to buy someone, it'd be Turbo this week out of the fullbacks.
How much are we riding next year if we open the app in December and he doesn't have centre wing duel?
Oh. Yeah, there'll be some anger.
And Trell.
Yeah, Trell's played, 3 games at centre now?
Yeah.
From last week?
4.
Mate, we're going to have
it was
no
2.
money next year. We're going to pick 3 gun fullbacks, Turbo Trell, Payne Haas, Trell,
Payne
May
Haas.
Cleary.
Yep. And then 18 rookies. It's going to be the best.
No, Alex Haypath again. We'll convince ourselves that it's the year.
Kelma Tuolangi will be 200k. It'll be rookie price. I'll be ready. I'll be back again. I will be there in 2026. Those are our picks. Those are our top purchases in each position for this week. Just to recap, I've only got mine on the screen, but I'll go through mine. Harry Grant at hooker. Don't buy a front row forward. Don't waste your trade. Bo Firma at 2RF. Sam Walker halfback. Dearden at 5'8", or who did I mention? Adam Dewey. Alex Johnson at centre wing. Tom Trbojevic at fullback. Matty, do you remember yours?
It was Damien Cook into not a front row forward into... Who did I pick for 2RF? I don't know. Somebody relatively average. Into liking King Togia, into don't trade at halfback, into Clint Gutherson, probably.
Yeah, Gutho pod. Josh, who did you have again?
For what's this, sorry?
For your positions, who did you take?
Bailey Bentley and Harpo.
Oh, yeah, good. What about the rest of them? Oh, Sam Verrills.
Sam Verrills. Yeah,
we're just recapping all of them. So, Sam Verrills. Who'd you have at 2RF? Oh, you had Bo Firma as well.
No, I had Talis Duncan.
Oh, yeah. And halfback was Dearden. You beat me to it. Who's your 5'8"?
5'8" was... That's a great question. Did I give you one?
Don't know.
Did I give
Maybe
you
not.
one?
Yeah, you didn't. That got cut off pretty quickly. So
okay, cool. Sweet. I'll just go myself. All right, let's find one quickly. Find one.
It's,
by...
honestly, the answer's still Ethan Strange. It's just not this week.
If you can wait a week, yeah.
Lachlan Galvin. No, it's not. His
draw is putrid. I looked at him.
What about goal kicking Warriors halfback? Tanner Boyd.
It's probably good we skipped you.
Yeah, mate, there's nothing. Oh, no, hey, hang on. Let me try and cook something up here. St George at Go Media, then the Titans, then Para at Go Media, and then Manly at 4 points.
I mean, you can run with it. That's fine. We can go with Tanner Boyd. It's all good.
Hey, chat, shall I use my last trade? Hines out. Because Hines out is such a popular trade, apparently. Hines out for Boyd.
Gross. Yeah, that's rough. Don't do that. Centre wing, we both had AJ. Did you add anybody else or just him?
AJ of the Brimson.
Oh, Johnston, you said Brimson. Yeah, that's right. We had both AJs as a purchase again. We got it right last week, nailed it by saying buy AJ. We didn't say which one, so hopefully you got the right one.
AJ scored like 130 points last week, so
he did combined. It was great. And anybody else other than Tom Trbojevic?
No. Hope this helps.
Maybe
Trell.
Very good. Yeah,
Maybe
Trell. Okay, go with Trell. See how that goes.
Let's move on. Any rogue fullbacks?
Oh, we're starting to get into KO weeks areas.
I was like thinking, maybe Gutho. Jai Gray, a bit of Jai Gray.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We hit this point of the season, honestly.
Tane Tuapiki. Oh, no, Bailey Bentley Harpe is a fullback duel. So that works perfectly for you.
What do you mean? Yeah.
All right, let's move on to trade trends for the week.
Target acquired.
And trade trends brought to you by the man in the comments. Josh, sorry.
Is it safe to say that Bailey Bentley Harper is a shout won't be getting featured on our Instagram reels as a bit of promo for this week's episode? Or
He won't. No, he absolutely won't.
It's only because Connor Vitano's already there. Because I looked it up, and he's an 80% goal kicker in Cup. And then I looked at the goalposts, and they're the same size in Cup as they are in the NRL.
they are. That's
so,
a great.
I
point to
reckon.
make them.
Yeah. I reckon he'll be fine.
Some terrible chat. Trade Trends brought to you by Ryan from Astute Newstead. We've had another rate cut as of about 2 days ago. So great news for homeowners. If your rates are above 5.35%, you want to buy your first home, renovate, save cash, Ryan can do all of that for you. He does all the heavy lifting to get you the best deal with the major banks and over 40 lenders on panel. So there is no obligation, doesn't cost a thing. You can contact Ryan via the link in the description below, as I am certain that he will be hitting us up for more. He'll be probably banking on Mattrix sculling a beer by the end of the show, because that is the rules of the Super Chat. So we'll see if Mattrix follows through or has to refund him his money by the end
I've
of the
already
show.
texted him.
Love it. Let's chat top popular purchases. Tom Trebojevic at the top of the list. 4% of people in the top 10% are buying him. We've already touched on that. James Tedesco. 2.5% of people are buying James Tedesco in the top 10% at the moment. They're just going, I need to get this bloke in. We've pretty much put him at the bottom of our list in terms of fullbacks we'd prefer for the run home, just due to the Roosters' draw. They come up against the Bulldogs this week. Tougher assignment than most. Not a fan of the purchase. It's more a matter of maybe people trying to match their head-to-head matchups. The last thing that you'd want to do, right, Mattrix, is lose a week off the back of not owning Teddy when everybody else does.
I mean, I'm not in any head-to-heads because I don't own Teddy, so I'm not the right person to.
That's exactly why I asked you
to throw this to. But when you have a look at their draw into the Eels, which have been better, into Melbourne, and then you really want him for that Souths matchup. But when you do look at it now, with how many of the Souths guys coming back, I know they beat the Mighty Titans last week, so they have had a resurgence. But look, Souths aren't the same team that they were 2 weeks ago as well. So yeah, I would still be fading Teddy. And I know they're probably trying to match, like you said, match their matchup, but I'd be going, if I have the money to bring in Teddy, I'm bringing in Turbo.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. Tolu Cole is also being bought. People are liking this West Tigers matchup, Josh. I can go you one better on Tolu Kola, and it's Lehigh Hopewadi at 100k cheaper. Back on the left wing, he is 10.8% owned in the top 10% of teams. His scores on the wing, 60, 60, 30, 80, 50, 80, 100 before he went to fullback. Oh, and I missed an 18. So there's a couple of shitters in there, but for the most part, he's scored, I think it was like 8 tries in 9 games on the wing. So coming up against the West Tigers this week, into the Dolphins, Dragons, Warriors on the run home. The next month of football for that draw is amazing, which is why we love Turbo. What are your thoughts on Lehigh as a bit of a flyer at centre wing?
Yeah, I don't mind another Manly winger either. So
Jason Saab?
Yeah, I mean, plays our left, which sucks, and then plays the Dolphins left, which is like Herbie and not Bostock.
Rate it.
Yeah, well, I think any Manly asset could be a decent shout.
They've got a really nice run. Probably the best month of games, I think, coming up, don't they, Matty? Like, you've maybe got to get one or two. Obviously, everybody would have Garrick, but yeah, there's a few putting their hand up, I think, for this next month of footy in the head-to-head finals.
But yeah, I mean, the Tigers have conceded 18 tries to opponent left wingers, so Lehigh could be wheels up.
Yeah, I think Lehigh's the one if you're looking at centre wing. But fuck, I need Turbo in my team. I've got 3 trades left, and I'm probably going Dylan Edwards to Turbo. Let's be honest. I just think that you're going to get 70, 80 out of Dylan Edwards in a tough thing. And look, I might get a couple 50s out of Turbo if he really stinks it, but I genuinely think it could be league winners if you don't have him. But me, that's playing for vibes at this point of the year. Yeah, there's nothing more vibey than a Tom Trebojevic captain and probably bringing him in. So,
Rate it. Clint Gutherson's on this list. We won't have to talk about him too long, thankfully. But 22 people are buying him.
There's
good.
Honestly, there's some good matchups there for St. George, and they have been playing better footy this week.
Yeah, I'll give you this week. I'll give you that. They've been training real hard, so good luck. Good luck to them this weekend.
Shout out to Flano, who's been in the DMs.
Scotty Drinkwater is the most sold player. We've had our opinion on him, and we all think he is a hold. KO Weeks also being moved on. Canberra Raiders are on the bye, so that makes plenty of sense. Ryan Pappenhausen also being traded, has not been named, also makes sense. Dylan Edwards, Matty, is the fourth most traded out player, so people are thinking around the same realm as you in the top 10% that he is a move on, and then everybody else, there's barely anything happening there because not many people are looking to be trading this week by the looks of things. So, great SuperCoach content. Makes it really easy for us as podcasters when there's absolutely nothing happening on the app. So
when you're bringing up the top 10 and 22 people have traded in Gutho, so...
The fifth most traded out player is Connor Tracy, and that is 25 people have traded him out. So, it's just a complete ghost town from, like 4 down. Let's have a chat about the captains for this week then.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
It's a bit of an interesting captaincy week this week. I can count 7 or 8 genuine options that I'd be happy to run with this week, Josh. The standouts are obviously... It's Cleary in game 1. It's Nico against the Gold Coast Titans. It's Walsh against the Dolphins. What else are we looking at this week?
I'm looking at Corey's super chat. Personally, I'm quite fixated on that. Before we come back to captains,
Let's do it.
if you could have the same rig as any player, who would it be? Also, shout out for the super chat. Thank you so much, Corey. If you could have any rig of any NRL player, who would it be?
Or Scott Sorensen?
I feel like we're missing the obvious answer here, but sure. Go, Matty.
Well, I don't know whether there's an obvious answer, is there? Herbie,
Is it not just Jamie Humphries? Just an absolute thick man, just a unit.
Yeah, but I mean, have you seen Scott Sorensen with his fucking rig out?
Like he's peeled though. So so you want to be like 7% body fat.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be like 14%. Will still go out, but like just a unit. Or Ryan Madison. Just with his fat biceps. Fair.
Yeah, Scott Sorensen's a bit of a nuggety bloke, isn't he? Shorter, but he's genuinely shredded.
I'll tell you a good rig. Tom Starling. He's always got his kid off in those like post-match interviews. Always got a good rig.
To be fair, most of them should. They play professional football. They run around a fair bit. Matty, who's yours?
It's probably somebody like a Zach Lomax or somebody like that. He's solid. He's ripped. But not too much that it's not a Jamie Humphries build or anything like that. But it's just a really good rig.
The actual correct answer is Matt Cooper.
Yeah.
Like prime Matt Cooper was unreal.
Yeah. Thought we were going to get silly for a second and start talking about like Shaq Mitchell.
I don't want to traumatize Braino, but Dom Young after the send off when he had the ripped jersey, the pecs were just frozen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I posted on Twitter. I was at a Newcastle nightclub one fruitful night about 3 years ago, and I watched a man go, "Oh, Dom, let me buy you a drink." Walked off, long line. In that time that old mate had left to buy Dom Young a drink, Dom Young had picked up his girlfriend, the man that buying him a drink, his girlfriend, and left. So.
And that bloke would have come back and gave him his drink and said, "Good luck tonight, man." Like that's what I would have reckoned happened. He wouldn't afford it, that's for sure.
No. Let's go back to captains. Proper good content, but I'm always here for a bit of shit chat.
Especially in round 24. That's when, if you want to throw some shit chat, that's when it's coming. It gives us something to talk about. That's for sure.
Sorry to all those that are still in head-to-head finals that appreciate this.
I am dreading the Wednesday night the Tuesday night of round 27. The Q&A is going to be hinged.
Yeah, it will be, actually. It'll probably one that we should all try and hop on for and just talk a bunch of shit, which actually that's just like every week.
That's probably around my basketball finals, so I might have had 2 or 3 schooners by the time that one starts. So
even better. So you would have. So that's about 3 beers less than most other nights. Fair enough. Let's talk captains because there are I guess some genuine content in this section. Nathan Cleary against Melbourne. He's 37% VC'd at the moment. I naturally would assume that maybe that's off the back of last week. 15% are happening straight C. I'd assume that comes back. Nico Hines, 20% VC, 10% captained at the moment versus the Gold Coast Titans. He's the standout for me. My only concern with Nico is that him losing Nikora and losing Ramian on that right side might kind of limit him or at least maybe ruin his connection that he's got with the players around him. And, I mean, let's face it, it's pretty hard to trust the Sharks at the moment, Matty, isn't it?
Yeah, and Titans they did play pretty good footy a week or so ago. Sharks have been pretty ordinary. Would you really be surprised if the Titans rolled the Sharks? Like, that's probably something that I'm throwing out there if you're considering straight captaining Nico. I won't talk you out of a VC, but, like, Titans are one of those teams that could just ruin the Sharks this week.
So I've been tossing and turning on whether I VC or whether I see Nico. It's going to be one of the two, but I don't have that, like, deep confidence that the Sharks are going to come out and put a score up. I hope they do, and the stats say that they should, but like it's just so hard to trust them off the back of last week. And I'm probably going to VC Nico. Josh, where are you at with Nico? Are you VCing or are you captaining?
It's tough. Like, I think I'm just gonna, and this is a very dangerous game. I could score 600 or 900. I'm gonna VC Nico and to see Walsh.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he's on this list. If 1% are on the VC or the C for Reece Walsh, and a lot of people would get scared off after last week. So it's kind of like the perfect pod captain this week.
I am looking down at my captain right now with a 26 next to his name, and I do not feel good about it.
It's risky business, that's for sure. What about Ruben Garrick against the Tigers? I mean, coming up against our left is tough. Like I think we've only conceded like 3 or 4 tries to right centres this year. So like defensively, we've been pretty good on that side, but in saying that, for the most part, that was when it was, who's our left? Skelton was there, and Skelton swapped sides now. Taruva and Skelton have swapped over. We conceded all of our tries down Senia Taruva's side at the start of the year, and now they've swapped. So could those numbers reverse a little bit? Maybe. But Garrick is safe. I'd be pretty happy to go captain Garrick this week. But if you're going to buy Turbo, Matty, you've got to put the orange armband on him, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going Walsh into Turbo. And I tell you what's scarier than seeing your captain with a 26, seeing your vice captain with a 26 and your captain with a 55. So that's what I'm going to do.
Rate it. That 55 was in fucking terrible weather too, so like it wasn't too bad. You take it.
That's 155 in 2021.
Yeah, a little bit. Scotty Drinkwater versus the Knights. 11% captained at the moment, so people aren't overly scared off over the last couple of weeks. No goal kicking though. Bit of a kick in the dick, I think. Like I don't know whether I'd feel that great about captaining them against the Knights, even though they're putting up points. Josh, is it a decent play, or would you rather look at someone like a Lomax against Souths?
I like having goal kicking on captaincy. It's just like it's a nice safe floor to have, and that's probably my only concern. But he's so involved now that he's still probably going to put up a good amount of base, and we know the upside's there. But I'm probably looking for a goal kicker personally. And no, Lomax he can get in the bin.
Anybody else is putting their hand up? Are you going to just? Oh, you said you like a goal kicker.
Connor Vitaro.
Yeah, buy him straight C. Love it. Anybody else putting their hand up for you?
No, maybe Trell if he was kicking, but yeah, no, it's just probably Walsh for me, unfortunately.
Bailey Bentley Harpe, goal kicker. If
Yeah.
you buy him this week, could be the go.
For the 22 people bringing in Gutho, they could probably vice captain him.
Yeah,
So I know all those guys listen to the show. So.
Yeah, it's we are the number one Clint Gutherson fan podcast this year. It's been one way or another. It's been one way or another. We either love him or hate him. Which, to be fair, most NRL fans probably do feel that way about Gutho regardless. So it doesn't even have to be Supercoach. But there's 7 options, 8 options potentially if you count Turbo Garrick, Walsh, Teddy still a fine VC. I think I think I'm letting him pass this week. Nico, Cleary, Drinky, Lomax. So plenty of options, and I think it could definitely be the separator this week with teams so similar, I should say, in head-to-head must-win matchups. So, Josh, obviously for people that aren't in a must-win matchup and potentially have the bye this week, it's pretty easy advice to do nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you're playing purely head-to-head. Like, there's no cash to be made on going on a cheapie or anything like that. Like, most people should have enough flexibility with money that break-evens aren't a thing. If you're in a bye this week, it's and you're not playing for overall, absolutely just sit on your hands.
For sure. I am not in that situation. I'm in must-win in like 2 leagues and got knocked out of the rest. So, not a ton to play for at this point in time, but there's vibes. There's vibes in the camp, and the boys are still feeling hopeful for the rest of the year. So we'll see. Hopefully that gets me through the next 4 weeks. But that'll do us, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for jumping in and getting involved. Of course, if you want to support the show, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like the content. Don't forget to get your guesses in for the top scorer this week. Chuck them in the comments. The closest person gets a Patreon sub for the SC Finals and the rest of this regular season. So get involved there. Good luck this week. Hopefully you can win your head-to-head matchups. And we will see you Sunday for the Round 24 wrap-up. Catch you then.
Cheerio.